On April 5, Jhenea Pratt was found unconscious and not breathing with blood in her mouth at Pratt's East Hills apartment. She died later in Children's Hospital. This video delves into a heart-wrenching case that has shocked a community. The tragic death of a young child has led to the arrest of her own mother, Jhenea Pratt. Join us as we explore the disturbing details of this case and the heartbreaking circumstances surrounding the child's untimely demise.
Did you put anything in the sippy cup?
No, there was a red liquid in it, and I know we had Huggies.
Yeah, I remember seeing some Huggies in there.
To be more specific, Happy Drink Huggies.
Is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you, when you were living, I'm just going to show you the picture. This is, is this the same sippy cup you're thinking?
In the spring of 2018, a young girl named Jhenea Pratt was tragically taken from this world. The 18-month-old child was found unresponsive in her home, and subsequent medical examination revealed a devastating truth: she had been poisoned with fentanyl.
I put a different juice drink in there, and she had a complete fit, and she didn't drink it.
Okay.
So how the red liquid got in, he changed her sippy cup when he fed her.
Okay.
He said she drank a little bit and threw it.
Okay. Out of that sippy cup?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you lived at that address, did you get anything?
Assistant District Attorney Diana Page told a Pennsylvania jury that Jhenea Pratt, 23, drugged her 17-month-old daughter, Jhenea Pratt, in April 2018 with the specific intent to kill, according to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Unsure of how the cup's contents became poisoned, Pratt claims a fruit drink she had given to the child tasted funny to her, the affidavit said. Pratt said she had put Jhenea down to sleep and checked on her an hour later to find her not breathing, prompting her to call 911.
No reason like you would get any packages, say, from China or from Japan or anything like that?
Like directly from them?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. But to your knowledge, you...
I ordered everything from Walmart.
Okay. So just to be clear, the stuff that was in that sippy cup, you did put in or you did not?
I did not.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any idea? Well, I'm just gonna be blunt to you. Your child died from fentanyl poisoning.
So why did CYF tell me hypoxic cardiac arrest?
There weren't lab results then. So I'm going to explain this to you.
The investigation into Jhenea's death led authorities to her mother, Jhenea Pratt. Through a series of interviews and interrogations, a disturbing picture emerged. Pratt's inconsistent and often contradictory statements raised serious questions about her involvement in the child's death.
Fentanyl that people are overdosing every day in Pittsburgh and dying from. Same exact type. Okay. So I need to know how the fentanyl got in the sippy cup. Because right now it's not an accident. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so scientifically, it's impossible for your daughter to put fentanyl in a sippy cup. Okay. Physically, it's impossible for her to do. Scientifically, that's another story. But right now, that's how she died. It wasn't any other reason other than she overdosed on fentanyl, which is the same fentanyl that people in the streets are dying of.
The video footage reveals the intense questioning by law enforcement as they sought to uncover the truth. Pratt's demeanor and responses suggest a level of detachment and a lack of remorse, further fueling suspicions.
So what is it, like a liquid,
I'm not a scientist. It comes in a liquid form, it comes in a powder form. I'm not exactly sure, but what I am sure of is that fentanyl was put in a sippy cup and there was liquid mixed into it and it was given to Charlotte and that's how she died. So I need to know how that got in there.
I have no knowledge to how fentanyl got in my daughter's sippy cup.
Okay.
Pratt keeps her arms crossed, a sign of defensiveness and concealment. There is a limit of 2 people who could have poisoned her daughter and only 3 scenarios. 1, her boyfriend did it and she is protecting him. Or the second scenario, she killed her daughter and is framing her boyfriend. And the final possibility is that they were in on this together. In any of these alternatives, it is virtually impossible that she has no knowledge, or at the very least, some suspicion about what happened.
Because you realize right now this investigation is taking a whole different turn.
Yeah, clearly.
And when someone gives someone something and they die from it, it's a homicide.
The discovery of a tainted sippy cup in the child's room added another layer of complexity to the case. The presence of fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid, in the child's system pointed to a deliberate act of harm.
Several times returning back to my house.
This is since you've moved, or
No, this is living in apartment number 5.
this is where you used to live? You're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that still wouldn't explain how it got in the sippy cup.
Well, I'm just as clueless as you are. So are you implicating that I put fentanyl in my child's sippy cup?
No, but based on this timeline, I mean, there's only 2 people that could have put fentanyl in the sippy cup. Based on what you just told me about 10 minutes ago. And based on the whole timeline of that day. I need to know how it got in there. Because this investigation is not going away.
Okay, and I'm telling you, I returned to my house from being picked up from school, and I did nothing out of the usual.
Okay.
We took our stuff off, and she ran around and played, and I'm waiting for my social worker to come.
Okay. Do you get fentanyl delivered from China?
I don't know anything about fentanyl.
Okay. Did you ever put anything in her sippy cup other than Huggy
No.
juice?
She's drank water, she's drank milk, she's drank Kool-Aid, liquids.
But have you ever put anything in there?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Other than,
I mean, because some parents will give their kids a little bit of, Benadryl or something like that, so they can...
no, that doesn't go in a sippy cup because it's supposed to be measured out, and Benadryl's not supposed to be drank. Tylenol's not supposed to be drank over a specific amount of hours. It's supposed to be 1 dose, and that's it.
Right, I agree with you. But parents...
I'm not one of those people
Okay.
or parents.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
She is growing more agitated but seems to be more upset about being accused than finding out what happened to her daughter. Obviously, any innocent person would protest at being accused of something like this, but it's almost impossible to imagine that a parent wouldn't be desperately trying to figure out what had happened, or if there was any way that someone else could have had access to the cup.
And it wouldn't be the first time, okay? I'm just asking. But we have a problem right now. Is that safe to say that there's a problem? I mean, I have to figure out how this got in there because your baby can't tell me. Is there a reason someone would want to do that? Is there a reason why fentanyl would be in a sippy cup?
No, there's not. And no, there's not a reason anybody would want to.
The amount of fentanyl that was in her system was extremely high. Okay? It was very high. And that's essentially when she drank the sippy cup. Whenever she picked that sippy cup off the bed, it was absorbed very quickly. And once she swallowed it, she didn't have much time to survive.
That's not possible because I didn't physically see her with her sippy cup, and we were at home. I was with her. I can't tell you the exact time frame, but when I got home, because I went to the welfare office a little bit as soon as I left school, there's no possible way.
Although Pratt protests that there is no way this could have happened the way he says, she offers no other possible alternative, and there is no evidence it could have happened any other way. The detective is visibly struggling to keep his emotions in check. Understandably so, because handling the case of a child's death like this is enough to break anyone down.
Well, that sippy cup I showed you that picture of, that's the sippy cup that had it in it. Okay. I'm going to step out for a little bit, let you think about this.
There's nothing to think about.
Okay, well, I need to step out anyway. All right. But that's why I brought you here, was to tell you exactly what happened and what we found. And I mean, it wasn't really me, but it was, scientists and, people at the lab that discovered all this, medical examiners, doctors. Okay.
Okay, so am I under arrest?
No.
Are there any more questions?
I just want to know how it got in there. That's the big question.
I don't know how it got in there. This is news to me like it's news to you.
If you had to guess how it got in there, is there any way, any guess you could have?
A manufacturing issue with the Happy Drinks?
So you think it could have been the Huggy?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I took a sip of those Huggies and it didn't really have a pleasing taste to it.
We tested the Huggies.
Mm.
No fentanyl.
So what are you implying?
She has underestimated them because they have already tested the drink. This is done in the case of any poison. Any known ingested food or beverage, as well as anything open in cases where it isn't known where the person consumed, is tested for any trace of poison. This helps determine if the poisoning was deliberate or if there needs to be an immediate product recall for public safety.
I'm asking. I'm just asking straight up how it got in there.
And I'm telling you straight up, I have no clue how it got in.
No clue. Is this something your boyfriend would have done?
He has kids of his own. Why would he hurt my child?
Well, did anyone else have access to the apartment?
Maintenance people, the people who run the place.
So other than the maintenance people and people that run the place, the only person that has access to it is you and Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Was any maintenance people in there recently?
I wouldn't know.
You want to know? Was anyone in your house that uses heroin?
I wouldn't know what people's personal drugs they use.
But to your knowledge,
No.
did you have any people in your house that use heroin?
No.
Do you use heroin?
No.
Does your boyfriend use heroin?
No.
Other than smoking weed, do you do any other drugs?
No.
All right. Well, it's my job to find out how this got in there. Okay, at this point. And this isn't going to go away. This investigation is not going away until I find out.
The tragedy of Charlotte's death serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of drug abuse and the devastating impact it can have on innocent lives. It also highlights the importance of child protection and the need for vigilance in ensuring the safety of our children. Let us remember Charlotte and honor her memory by raising awareness about the dangers of drug abuse and child neglect. It is our responsibility to protect the most vulnerable members of our society. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay updated. Share this video to raise awareness about child
She
safety.
was still asleep. She stayed asleep. Urban lady left. And you went to check on her, and that's when you found she was unresponsive. And there was the pink sippy cup on her bed. And you called 911. Police showed up first, and then the medics. Correct?
I don't know who showed up first, honestly.
Okay. I really want to know why your baby had that large amount of fentanyl in her.
I would too.
I mean, it was enough to kill a very large animal.
There's no way my daughter could have got into any type of fentanyl.
I agree with you. I agree. I think someone, just like a bartender, mixes up a drink, put it in that sippy cup. It's the only possible way it could have got in there.
Is there any more questions, officer, detective?
Do you agree with me?
I'm not agreeing because who would do that to a child?